What's up, guys? I'm Boy Shay, and welcome to my channel where I talk about what I want when I want. And today's video is a continuation of my astrological series of the sun. What the heck just happened? I'm not restarting. That was going good. Of the sun through the houses. And this video is for those of you who have your sun in the third house. Now, if you're not sure what house your sun is in, there's a few ways you can find that out. One is by visiting astro.com and typing in your birth chart data and seeing what house your sun is in. Or you can get a reading from me, and my link to my website will be listed in the description box below, but only if you feel led and guided. So, with that, let's get into the video. If you have your sun in the third house, whatever house your sun is placed in, this is where you are the star of your show. This is where you will experience the majority of your life themes through this area of life. And this is where you have the opportunity to come into your full purpose for being on this earth plane, in this earth school. So if you have your sun in the third house, which is naturally ruled by Gemini, this is the house of communication, siblings, community, short distance travel, literary skills, writing, and observation, curiosity, okay? And when you have your sun here, you are someone who grew up in a community, or most likely grew up in a community where you observed what was going on around you, observed and learned and embodied the conditioning in your formative years, only to grow up and realize the flaws or what is wrong with your community, or what was wrong with what you were taught, or what your community needs in order to improve and be better, okay? So if you have your sun in the third house, you are here in some way to communicate and share knowledge with people and express your ideas, opinions, as well as research and gain knowledge and understanding from the people around you, the people in your community, and be able to observe multiple perspectives, okay? With your sun in the third house, the challenges you might face are imposed opinions or people telling you how you should be, what you should do, how to act. And in coming into your own, you have to learn how to undo that conditioning or do away with the ideas that are imposed on you and find what truly works for you. And you find that through indulging in your curiosity. Okay, and in doing so, you find new information that you're able to bring back to your community, and in some way, you find a way to give back or to share that knowledge or to enlighten your community. Because once again, whatever the sun touches, this is where you are meant to shine. Okay, so in some way, you are meant to be a beacon within your community. You are meant to be someone who inspires, uplifts, and just someone that is looked up to as a positive figure, okay? And with that, if you do not feel led to public speak or be really involved in community, you may have very skilled literary gifts in communication. People with their sun in the third house are usually or can be very poetic, or be skilled linguists and enjoy just learning how to communicate in different ways with different people, with multiple types of people and walks of life. If you have your sun in the third house, you're most likely very curious and enjoy learning from any and everyone, or at the very least, listening to their perspectives. And this is how you gain knowledge and understanding of the world around you, okay? Also, if you have your sun in the third house, you could be a singer, an artist in some way. Also, truck drivers. I find that truck drivers have their sun in the third house, or people who work in the transportation field. or in some way have to facilitate or bridge the gap when it comes to knowledge or understanding, okay? And deal with themes as far as getting from to and from, whether that be destinations or knowledge or understanding, okay? You are bridging the gap of communication, understanding, facilitation in some way. You're probably very intelligent and enjoy the expansion of your mind. Probably always studying something, always learning something. You may even have multiple interests or hobbies. Okay. What else for Sun in the third house? Spirit, what else for Sun in the third house? Oh, this is also the house of siblings. So in some way you may have very significant relationships with your siblings or the people you grew up with or around, or may even be part of teams or organizations, or someone who's super involved in multiple organizations, always trying to have your hand in multiple pots or doing different things, as long as it allows you to be social, okay? Now, this having your sun in the third house can make you someone who is very extroverted, unless you have Cancer in the third house, or Pisces in the third house, or Scorpio in the third house. You may be more introverted. But if you have an air sign, that being Libra, Aquarius, or what's the third air sign? Gemini. You might be more extroverted and curious and talkative, okay? People with their sun in the third house love to talk, like to hear themselves talk. And that is amplified if you have that in an air sign. And what's the opposite of amplified? Decreased if you have it in a water sign. Now, if you have fire in the third house, you are someone who inspires your community, and the way that you talk is very inspiring, very passionate. The way that you pursue knowledge and understanding is very exciting and passionate. And if you have Sagittarius here, you may be someone who really loves to travel, explore, long distance travel as well as short distance travel, and just forever a student of life. If you have Gemini or Sagittarius here, you just have an obsession for learning, an obsession for understanding. If you have Virgo here, you're most likely a healer or someone who really goes out of their way to understand people and understand what they need and how they can be of service and how they can help in their community, and once again bridge that gap in facilitation, okay? If you have other earth signs in the third house, if say for instance you have Capricorn in the third house, this makes you someone who would most likely be a very great mentor in your community, or a builder or carpenter, or anything that teaches people how to build or how to master something, or sharing information for the purpose of achievement, or business, finances. Well, actually, finances would be more Virgo or second house, or Taurus. If you have Taurus in the third house, you may be very good with finances or building wealth, or very curious in terms of how to accumulate wealth, okay? Whatever sign your sun is in, this is the archetype in which you express your curiosity, okay? So keep that in mind. Third house suns are very curious, very talkative, and social. Okay, this is a very social house if you have your sun here. So let's see what else. I mentioned intelligence. I mentioned learning, traveling, relationships with siblings. And depending on what sign is there or what other planets are in your third house would tell you the relationships that you have with the type of relationship that you have with your siblings, how you're viewed by your siblings. Yeah, and I believe that concludes this video for the third house sun. If you have your sun in the third house, let me know if this video resonates with you, and how this plays out in your chart, whether you're involved in the community community, or just really love words or the art of putting words together. If you're a poet or an artist or a singer, okay. If you have Libra here, you may be a singer. Yeah, just really share with me how that manifests for you if you have your sun in the third house. I really look forward to reading you guys' comments. And until next time, once again, if you're interested in having a reading or receiving a reading from me, getting a reading from me, all of my readings are done face-to-face via Zoom. I do not believe in just typing up and sending it to you guys. I want it to be a personal face-to-face connection. So only sign up for a reading from me if you feel guided, if you feel like you have a connection with me. And I look forward to hearing from you guys and reading your comments. So until next time, bye.